Anna's life ended a year ago in end of October to an overdose, and she took her own life because she couldn't live her life anymore.
Hi, everyone. I'm super excited for today's guest, all the way from Finland. I believe Otto and I met through Couch Driver.
That's true, yes. Correct.
I think. And we just shared similar things, obviously racing, approximately the same age, a little bit more seasoned, same looks. And I'm super excited just to sit down with Otto today and just talk a little bit about mental health and some racing, Gran Turismo, LMU, and I will hand it over to Otto.
Yeah, thanks. Really, really excited to be here today. And it took a while for us to get this sorted, but finally here, really happy and looking forward to this. First time ever for me to be in a podcast as a guest. Not that I've hosted a podcast either, but something fun to be had, I believe.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's always fun to get to know, kind of who your racing friends are and, sharing the track and then just talking a little bit more.
Yep.
So you're in Finland. I guess Finland and Canada share some similarities in some ways, probably weather related.
Yes, southern Finland, so we don't get that extreme cold that is some in some places in the north. But yeah, we have snow, a lot of it in some years, not that much. But yeah, summers are reasonably mild. They don't get that extremely hot like in southern Europe, for example. They've had really bad this year. The highest temperatures this year here at my place have been around plus 30 degrees. So quite mild and nice, to be honest.
Nice. So let's first get into kind of the racing stuff, and then we'll transition into more personal stuff and talk about some mental health. So, as far as racing and gaming is concerned, like how long was Gran Turismo your first racing game? Did you start on controller? Can you give us a little bit of your background on?
Yeah, I was thinking about this as I saw a couple of your earlier podcasts that you interviewed to your guests, and this is what you started with everybody basically. But my racing or computer gaming goes way past Gran Turismo. It started with Commodore 64 era, and their stunt car racer, I think, was the Jeff Grammond's GP, and then moved over to Amiga, Lotus Challenge, Test Drive, couple of racing games. I mean, they were arcade, not simulator or simcade like Gran Turismo is. But yeah, since I've been like 10, 11 years old, so way back. So
Okay.
four decades already. Game in games and gaming, more or less played a lot of other games as well, other than racing. But racing as such has been my passion. I've always loved anything with an engine and would have loved to race in real life by myself, but didn't have the funds or facilities or places to go racing. So computer games gave me a kind of a outlet to do what I liked. I've always watched all motor racing that has been available here in Finland, either through TV or streaming or going to races when they had them here in Finland. Currently, the Rally Finland is ongoing here in central Finland, but I had quite a lot of things to do this year here at home, so decided not to go. But yeah, racing as such, a passion, and computer games and racing with them became a hobby. And Gran Turismo ever since GT1, GT1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I had a pause with 6 and GT Sport, and then came back with GT7. It was not on launch, roughly a year after it was launched. So I wasn't immediately there. I played Horizon Zero Dawn, and what else was there with PS5 that we got for my son as a Christmas present for him. But yeah, GT7 did that for roughly 2 years, and well, it's a good game, no doubt about it. I mean, I liked it a lot. Gave me a lot of things to do on my spare time, and gave me an outlet to improve my racecraft and how to approach online racing, because GT7 was the first game for me to do anything online. So it was quite a different beast to tackle, to race against real people instead of AI. So that was fun. And now since last year, August last year, so roughly 1 year ago, I switched over to Le Mans Ultimate, bought my first ever PC, Windows PC computer, built it from scratch, and started to race on Le Mans Ultimate. I've done few races on iRacing as well, but decided to stick with one game first and see how it goes, and if it's then something that I want to endeavor in more detail, I would then spend more money on iRacing, as it's very expensive to get all the tracks and all the cars.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Well, and I need to reach out to you too, because 2 weeks ago, I got whatever the basic LMU was, but it was like, okay, I need to unplug this from the console, plug it into the PC. I had to switch my monitor to my PC, and then I got it up and working, and then it wouldn't detect my pedals. So I will reach out to you for some help.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, it's you've touched the joys and fun of PC gaming, or it's constant tinkering with all the settings and different updates of different apps and software. Yeah, the reason why I'm sitting here in my dining area is that my gaming rig decided to not have any audio at all, so we switched over to my laptop. So I'm not sitting in my racing rig right now, like the majority of your guests have been doing. But yeah, different
audio is always finicky. So obviously you've been gaming, as you said, for a long time. I joined the mill. I never had that opportunity when I was younger. And then I really didn't even know video games existed that much until I was in the military and deployed, and they had like a little relaxation area where you could go in and play games. And it was like a little trailer they had, and you could go in there, and they had consoles. It was all on controller, obviously, but I would get in and play Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. But that's my limited. So for me, Gran Turismo is my first. So with the racing for yourself, what was your progression with the rig?
I was a controller player until GT5. and then I bought the first wheel and pedals. It was Logitech G27. It was quite nice back in the day, but nothing to rave about nowadays anymore, of course. I bolted on to a old ironing board.
Oh, wow.
And I was sitting on the side of a bed and had my TV. I think it was 3 meters away, so not a very professional or a very good setup in any means. I mean, it was really hard to keep it steady, and well, the pedals were just on the floor. They were running away from me constantly, but that was the starting point.
Okay.
Then I got my cousin was playing GT5 as well, and he got this kind of a go-kart style of really rudimentary rig that has just bended steel pipes and a really small flexi plastic, like a cup seat that you were sitting on, and that what I used for more than a year with Gran Turismo 7. That was kind of a first semi proper rig that I had with GT7, and then I decided that okay, this is so much fun that I want to invest a bit more, and I started GT7 with Logitech G29, and it was working just fine for me. But of course, uh, like with any hobby, you want a bit more of immersion and a bit more functionality with the steering wheel and whatnot. And I went for full aluminium profile rig and bought my first DD wheelbase. It was Fanatec's TT DD Pro Plus, like the 8 Newton meter version with the CSL pedals, which I later upgraded with the load cell brake.
Okay.
And that was what I used until I started playing LMU, racing LMU. Started LMU with the Fanatec gear, and then an opportunity came up to buy a really high end gear from a fellow YouTuber and racing community member. So bought good pedals. They have like fully adjustable pneumatic pedals, and then C-Magic's Evo Pro wheelbase and a wheel setup plus a ton of other accessories for that. So that's what I'm currently running, 34-inch wide screen monitor. I think it's the same Samsung that you are running currently. Yeah. So, and then a ton of different streaming gear. I mean, I started streaming while playing Gran Turismo 7. First, it was just a straight stream from PS5 without any audio or anything like that. And then I slowly developed it into what my channel is currently at, with multiple cameras and like, well, all the audio problems you can imagine.
Yeah. The fun part.
It's fun. One of the reasons I decided to move forward with the full racing rig and stuff was that I wanted to learn something new. I mean, building the APC, learning how to stream, how to set up all different things, whatnot. So, and it's been a journey with all of its ups and downs, like in everything. But fun mostly. Yeah, fun mostly.
Absolutely. Well, they say once you get over 40, if you always try to learn something new, right? It can always help.
Yeah. Well, I'm way past 40 now. Probably can tell about the color of my beard and lack of hair. But
You and me
yeah,
both.
yeah.
So let's go back to kind of, if you don't mind, kind of start childhood. Kind of want to get into, the the men's mental health side. I've interviewed other people, and they've been through situations and whatnot. Want to get into to kind of you, Otto, a little bit more in detail.
Yeah, I mean, I've had my hardships and issues like, well, everybody. I was bullied at school quite badly. Got through that, and then moved to adulthood. I've been switching from work to another quite a lot, trying to find a good and supportive work community. Let's put it that way. Have had quite bad experiences at work. I was bullied in one quite badly, which led myself to have a kind of a exhaustion and kind of panic attacks. I was having, or I had, I think it was 6 months of sick leave due to that, and then I was laid off immediately after I get back, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, things happen in life, and then you go through them one way or another. And one thing that I've learned during those hardships and issues, that everything will pass.
Yeah.
In eventually, it will feel very bad at first, and if you don't know how to handle those feelings, then it can get really overwhelming
Mm-hmm.
in a way. But yeah, I've been laid off more than once out of the blue, a couple of times, and once I knew that it was coming. But yeah, it's for me, these going through these hardships and situations have grown quite a lot of resilience. I mean, I think there's not much anymore in life that will totally throw me off anymore. I mean, bring it on. I
Yeah.
can I
Yeah.
can take it. Of course, it has there has been several days and weeks that I would gladly give away. No doubt about that. But yeah, mostly life is good, and eventually the sun will always shine.
What during those times, like perhaps when you were younger, was gaming an outlet or distraction for you at that time?
Definitely. I didn't think about that as such at that time.
Mm.
But yeah, even in my childhood, going into games and getting the stories and feelings from the games were definitely a distraction from all the difficult times. But yeah, during my adult life as well, gaming has been, especially lately over the past 4 or 5 years, I'd say. Well, ever since PS5, let's put it that way. Since I bought PS5, we got it for my son. Well, I've been using it quite a lot, but it's a common common item for me and my son. But yeah, especially since PS5 came in here, so it's been a tool for myself to get me somewhere else than thinking about and wondering and pondering about the difficult times and situations. Definitely.
Yeah, it's I I forget who it was I was talking to recently. As you know, I think you've joined our Saturday morning weekly buddy check once or twice, I think. And I always kind of reach out to people if I haven't seen them in stream, they're not active in Discord. I reach out to, those that I haven't heard from on Discord and say, hey, are you doing okay?
Mm.
And I was just talking to someone last week and I kind of said the exact same thing is, whatever you're going through now, it's going to pass. Right. And, I got medicated a couple years ago for my PTSD and anxiety. And what I found when I did, I was able to, my ups and downs were much more even, right? Prior to that, I would be up, I'd be going out spending money, just crazy on a high. And then my lows were really low, right? And what I found is with medication, I was able to be much more even. Was there times in your life that you've kind of had really ups and downs and how did you manage that?
Yeah, well, I mentioned already that I was bullied really badly on one of my jobs, and I went for a sick leave for half a year. I got SRRI medication for that. I got really anxious and couldn't sleep, and it was really bad. I mean, it was not diagnosed as a depression, but kind of a same kind of a situation. I just couldn't go to work and or do anything work related. I was constantly on a really bad mood. I was being mean to my closest ones and not at all myself.
Mm.
And I well the medication got me through it, but I didn't like the side effects at all.
Mm.
All kinds of side effects, and as soon as I was able, I cut it off. Of course,
Yeah.
together with the professionals, I went to talk to a wonderful lady about my situation, and she gave me some tools to get through it, and of course the doctors helped me to find the right medication and right dosage and helped me to get out of it. But yeah, medication is one thing. Like you said, it will even out the highs and lows. So it's
Mm-hmm.
more like a steady state of mind then. But everything is kind of a dull, and the joy of doing things is not anymore there either.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
the really lows are gone as well, but the highs of getting things done and enjoying stuff like sunshine outside or the nature or good food or the company of nice people, your friends and family and whatnot, it goes away as well. So I didn't like that part at all. So as soon as I was able, I cut the medication off and I could get back to work and back on track what I like to be and want to be as a human being. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, on top of that, yeah, the sim racing has been my medication, so to say, for the past few years. So it has given me highs, race wins, good lap time, learning new things, and then again, of course, the lows. I've been punted out multiple times in a race. I've slept on my own multiple times, more than I can even remember. But then again, it's something that I've always said it's a learning experience, and I get experience for all the whatever happens in sim racing. It's well, yeah, XP, put
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah.
And one thing for me has been really clear that if you want to be at least on a decent level on sim racing, you need to focus. If you don't focus on what you're doing behind the wheel, you don't go nowhere. You can't get good lap times. You drive bad. You miss your apexes. You miss your turning points, braking points. You do stupid mistakes and stupid decisions racecraft wise. So you put your mind into racing and focus on that, and you close off basically everything else in your life. Be
It's
that only couple of hours a day, but that gives you that couple of hours to not think about what's wrong and what bad things happens in life and and so forth.
mhm.
That's one of the major reasons I do sim racing.
Yeah, I find it's interesting. I messaged Coach Luke, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on this week. Like, I'm like miles behind where I should be, and he would say like, didn't you just say like you're going through this and going through this and haven't been sleeping and had nightmares? I'm like, yeah, but what does that have to do?
Well,
It's funny
yeah,
how, though, when you talk about focus, and especially my ADHD, as I call it, a cocktail, ADHD plus PTSD, I sometimes wonder how I can even stay on track, because I could literally like squirrel and so take that, as I'm sure you know, streaming, trying to look at chat and race is
yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
sometimes, depending on the track, very difficult.
It is. I mean, yeah, it's for me. It's really much track dependent. Le
Mm.
Mans is a good race. A lot of long straights.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Monza is another one, a good one. A lot of long straights. But yeah, races can be a bit chaotic on those tracks. But yeah, like well, Laguna Seca, the latest addition to LMU, awful track to stream.
Mm.
And trying to be involved and connected to the chat. I don't know how people do that. Yeah, same.
So, with want to kind of to joining the pit crew, your messages of checking in the buddy check, and that always very inspirational. There's been some, I don't want to use the word darker, but probably more than most people have had to handle in life. And then there's been other ones that are, hey, still going through this, but overall doing okay. And
Yeah,
talk about just the pit crew and the support that you have found there.
yeah. I, like I mentioned earlier, that these different kind of hardships and difficulties that I have had in life, and the last few years have been really tough. Found pit crew and this your wonderful body check channel there as an outlet to kind of clear my thoughts on what's going on and share it for an audience, for friends. It's been a really important tool for me to get through all these thoughts and what's been going on. I've been blessed with a wonderful wife and a son, but yeah, before we met with my wife, she had a daughter, Anna, and long story short, it's been Anna's hardships and difficulties in life for the past few years that we've been going through, and Anna's life ended a year ago in end of October to an overdose, and she took her own life because she couldn't live her life anymore after heavy drug abuse and all the shebang you can imagine that goes with it for a 17, 18-year-old girl. She was raped multiple times. She was attacked a couple of times. She was a victim of an identity theft, and the list goes on and on and on. But yeah, these things I've gone through most of it, at least at the body check channel, and like I said, it's been a important tool for me to go through my own thoughts, feelings, and to share it to somebody or someone's that can probably understand and relate to what's going on my end. I'm definitely going to go and see a professional helper. No doubt about that, about all of this, but I'm not ready yet. Let's put it that way.
Mhm.
I mean, I've known Anna since she was 2 years old. So she was as much a daughter for me than my biological daughter would have been. So it was hard. It was really hard to lose her. But then again, it was a relief in a way that now we don't have to be afraid anymore. We know that nobody and nothing can hurt her anymore. So she's in a safe place.
Yeah. When you talk about some of your emotions, and I could only imagine, and I'm not, don't want to put words in your mouth, but as you said, Anna, been in your life since she was 2. Perhaps based on my training, I don't know how I would react. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I mean, yeah, angry, infuriated. I mean, that kind of a silent rage going through your body and just trying to breathe through it. It's something that you don't wish for, even for your worst enemy to go through. But yeah, I'm a strong believer of karma, and if you do good to your close ones and to your community, friends, family, whatnot, it will come back to you. If you do bad, it will also come back to you. So I truly believe that this person who did Anna harm, or these persons who have done Anna harm, they will get their fair share of what's coming to them. Let's put it that way.
Mm.
I mean, we are running through a set of court cases still that Anna is a plaintiff, but it is hard to go through them. I mean, all the memories and feelings come back all over again, even though you try to put them behind you. But these kind of things that you have to do and go through them again and again and again, it's really devastating in a way, and you don't want to do it, but you have to do it. And I mentioned earlier that I've built up quite a good amount of resilience during my life until this point. So I don't think there's not much that can shake me off anymore.
Yeah, it's when I tune in and watch your screens as you race on your stream, and you have poor Anna up in the top, and I remember when I first learned of this tragedy, and my heart just sank for you because I've lost a lot of soldier friends, but when it's that close to home, it has to be different. And I know the pain and the guilt and the shame that I went through in my military experiences. I couldn't even fathom just going through what you and your family have had to.
Yeah, I haven't opened that box yet.
Mm.
And I don't want to do it before I will do that with a professional. I've bottled it, put it in a box, and the box is waiting until I'm ready to go and talk to a professional about it, because it's such a long journey that ended with Anna dying.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right about that, those feelings of guilt and what ifs and what nots and all that stuff. I can't go there now. It's still too close. Like you said, you've lost soldiers. I mean, I know my father is a or was a military officer, retired now for 20 years or so. The soldier's job is to basically die for your country. Eventually, put it in really simple terms, that's expected of a soldier. I know that. But a teenage girl, no, it's not. Her job is to enjoy life, go to dates and meet nice boys and have fun, enjoy life, not to die.
Yeah.
It's been devastating, but yeah, like I said, it's even though it's close to a year now, it's still too close to dive into it too deeply. I mean, I'm perfectly okay to talk about it and share it, but to go fully and deeply into the reasons, what's been going on, when, how, who did what and didn't do what, all that shebang. Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
And I'm sure there's people that have mixed feelings that are watching. I would say, given in my mental health journey, I actually think that's a good way to go about it, because for me, I have hated every time. I don't know how many times I told my story over. New therapist, need to start over again, right? I'm retiring. I need to find somebody else. Well, I start with that one. Well, we don't really click. I need to find, like, I actually think what you're doing, I commend you to have the resilience and have the forward thinking to say, hey, you know what? This filing cabinet, my doctor, my psychiatrist often refers to things in the filing cabinet, right? And, right now your filing cabinet is locked. And when the time is right to open it, you'll do that, to recognize that and say, hey, I'm okay to talk about maybe the overall situation, but how it's actually affected me in more details. I'm not ready for that. And I commend you on that.
Yeah, we've discussed about this with my wife as well a lot, understandably, yes, but yeah, she has the same approach. I mean, she's been going through, I think, a lot more than I have, but yeah, opening that can of worms right now when everything is still fresh. Some might say that you should do it, but then again, I think when you get some distance between these kind of things at first and then watch it from a little bit of distance, you might have a better, I don't say understanding, but maybe better set of tools to handle your emotions and feelings as such. They're not that overwhelming anymore. Time
Mhm.
heals in many ways. So that's something I've learned myself. I'm pretty sure that my wife agrees as well. But yeah, to go into that kind of worms now, I don't think it's a good idea right now.
I
In
respect
more
that.
ways, in more ways than just myself. I mean, we have a family here.
Mhm.
We have to keep ourselves selves functioning. I mean, this is to do laundry, to wash, taking care of my son and his hobbies, making sure that he's clothed and fed and he goes to school every day and so forth. I mean, then again, when is the right time? I don't know. Is there ever going to be a good time for going there in that rabbit hole? Probably not. But you have to choose the least bad timing in a way.
And I don't know, for me, my psychologist always tells me how amazed he is about the insight I have to some of the mental health stuff. And he always says, I've never worked with somebody that kind of has the forward thinking and knows themselves the way that I do. And obviously, if I was to redo things, maybe it wouldn't be, I wouldn't have the story. But he always says, dude, you should go back to school and be a social worker, a therapist. I'm like, no
Yeah,
thanks. But
thanks.
what I
Yeah,
was going to say is, I think plan as you do. I think it's important to recognize ahead of time and say, you know what, when things get to, not, maybe they won't, but when things get to kind of point ABC or XYZ, that's when we're going to go, right? If there's times where, you know, situation gets worse, or you really feel that you're internalizing that a lot, I think it's good to recognize that, okay, it's time, right? And
yeah.
it's not going to be fun, right?
No,
It,
no.
it's
It's going to be
devastating.
hard.
It's
It
going to
is
be hard.
devastating because you need to open up all the wounds that have started to heal.
Hmm.
All the memories will come back in and so forth. So definitely not going to be an easy one. Yeah, I've said to my wife, and I've, like I said earlier already in this podcast as well, that I will definitely go and see a professional. I mean, my wife and I, of course, we have discussed about these things a lot, but then there's just that much that we can
Mm.
help each other. I'm
Yeah.
not a professional in mental health. I don't have the tools or ways of helping her to get
Hmm.
herself through this in that sense. And neither does she have those tools to help me. I need to do that myself and with a professional who really has the capability and tools to help me. So
Hmm.
it will definitely help instead of
Yeah.
kind of help. It's something that I don't have time nor will to play around with.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I want to get this done and dealt with, so I will take it from the filing cabinet, massage it, and go through and shred it and put it in the bin. and leave it there in a way. But yeah, it's been hard. But then again, like I said, sun will shine again tomorrow as well. We've just set up a new patch of lawn. It just started sprouting day before yesterday. Yay. We did a ton of work for that. Moved a lot of dirt and horse manure and topsoil and all that shebang that it is required to set up a lawn. We just started a new project, way overdue, to build a little toilet slash bathroom in our sauna cabin. So
Nice.
that was left undone when we built this place 14 years ago. So way overdue, 14 years.
Well, the nice thing about Discord is, just sharing some of the different stuff is I remember seeing the pictures, and I think we talked briefly about the excavator and, here we call it, Kubota. If you're watching, maybe you can sponsor.
Oh, yes, please.
But I was going to ask a smart aleck question and say, if your excavator skills had a driver rating, what would your driver rating be?
Somewhere between C and B. I'm not good at it. I can get my stuff done, but let's put it that way. I can move around, know my bearings, but I'm nowhere near fast or clean or precise with my
Yeah.
inputs. So somewhere around C and B, I'd say.
Yeah, it definitely takes a while to, it's like, okay, this one scoops and you're like this. For me on the tiller, just because I've driven tracked military vehicles, for that I'm like whipping it around no problem. But put a bucket on it or even a blade, I'm trying to level it out in areas, you just make more of a mess.
Yeah. A lot of mess with that kind of equipment. Yeah. Way faster and much more than with just a shovel and a wheelbarrow. Definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you as well, if you don't mind, did Anna play any video games?
Not that much. Minecraft mainly. Some others, but she wasn't that much into video games. However, she taught my son how to play Minecraft and how to do that. I can't play Minecraft. I don't understand it as such. I get the concept, but I'm not good at it. If I really want it, I'm pretty sure that I can make my way around it. But my son is really good at Minecraft, and Anna taught him that. So yeah, some, but
Good.
not that much. Yeah.
Yeah. With the mental health stuff in, you putting that stuff in the filing cabinet, do you journal or have any other tool?
I used to put some of my thoughts on my phone. Haven't done it for a year and a half or so. It was more of kind of I didn't feel good about it. I mean, it was at that time it was nothing but bad things day after day after day. So I decided, okay, I mean, maybe I'll start again now that there's some kind of a light out of the end of the tunnel. But I mean, at that time, it was a bit too much of the dark stuff. I didn't want to go there too deep. I mean, they are there on my phone. I can revisit them if I want, but to be honest, I don't right now. I don't want to. I mean, I want to be, if not back to my happy and fun and easygoing myself, but somewhere close. I'm pretty sure that I can't be that same person anymore, but if I can get close, that's fine.
Yeah, I've always journaled on and off. I would have part of my journal just for gratitude. And I think it's important during those, when you notice it's like, okay, this is really dark. And next day's dark, right? I think things can change when you identify, you know what? I got a roof over my head. I've got a job.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we're gonna
like I said, we've established a new lawn. We are building the toilet there in the sauna cabin. We have a couple of other smaller projects going on. So getting things done, finished. Just started them, but get them finished as well. Yeah, being grateful for things I know that works for some people really well. Listing that,
Mhm.
hey, I'm grateful today. I'm grateful for these 5 things. It works really well. I haven't tried that in that sense fully. Might try it, or then I'll just go on how I've been going on for this. I've never been much of a kind of a journal writer.
Right.
Just a couple of bullet points here and there. But yeah, need to
Yeah.
revisit the idea when I feel like it.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. It's not a bad idea at all. I really think it's working for some people, but I haven't found it being that useful for myself so far.
Mhm.
I haven't tried that in that sense, like you mentioned, the gratitude and gratefulness aspect at all, basically. But yeah, good that you brought it up.
I find for myself, it sometimes might not even be something I write down. In years ago, in my darkest days, I was thankful my feet hit the ground when I woke up, right? And just thinking that, I may not write it down, but yeah, when you're in those darkest spots, and just getting up out of bed sometimes is the biggest struggle of the day, or the biggest accomplishment of the day, I should say.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough not being in that deep.
Mm.
Definitely, I've been depressed, but not in a way that I can't get out of the bed.
Mm.
I mean, it's been hard some days and even weeks, but nothing like that you described that hey, I'm glad that I managed to get my feet out of the bed and get a shower, like, or eat something during the day. Nothing like that for me. Anna was like that for years, didn't eat, didn't sleep much, and so forth. But yeah, there's a ways, and like I mentioned, I need to go through this with a professional who can give me tools that
Mm.
works for me
Yeah, absolutely.
and,
I
and,
think
and with
that's
me.
well, and even last, I don't know how, maybe 8, 9 months ago, when I started really doing some more intensive therapy, and my doctor basically presented, he's like, okay, we got therapy type A, B, and C. Explain them all. Which one do you want? Which one do you think is good? And then I'll tell you which one I think is good. And we both landed on the same, which is cognitive exposure therapy, basically, and just started putting myself into situations that were uncomfortable, but gradually doing that longer and longer. Same as years ago, I could not watch a military like war movie, and then I would watch 5 minutes, see a commercial or an ad for a movie, watch 10 minutes, and now it's like, no problem. So,
Saving Private Ryan and what is this other one? Band of Brothers,
mm,
the series, really good ones.
yeah.
If you haven't seen them, that is.
Oh, well, I actually watched band of brothers. We in Afghanistan, and when I was there in 2005, every Sunday, kind of local merchants would come and set up outside the camp, and we would have to go out and clear a security check, but they would bring. So I ended up finding a box set of Band of Brothers CD collection, and I watched it over and over and over. One of my favorite.
It's a good one.
It is so good. It is so
I think
good.
I've watched it at least 3 times. The whole shebang from start to finish.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan at least 3, if not 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm a
no.
fan of good war movie.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the historical ones.
Yeah.
They tend to be more interesting and better than the new ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So I wanted to ask, with everything that you and the family have gone through, where do you see yourself with everything, like in a year, 5 years? Where do you see your sim rate? Probably a very long question. Where do you see your YouTube channel? Just where do you see everything in, between a year and 5 years?
I mean, sim racing wise, I've geared already towards the longer races, endurance racing. I wasn't a fan of Gran Turismo 7's daily races. I'm not a fan of Le Mans Ultimate daily races either. They are basically between the titles or the games, but the longer racing formats like 4 to 6, 8 hours, they've been really fun to do with teams.
Mm.
I've been involved with a couple of racing teams on LMU, and we've had so much fun on those longer races. And they tend to attract quite a lot of subscribers and watch time for my channel as well. So that's most likely the direction I'm going to go in the future. Going to do solo racing as well, but then again also the longer ones. At Le Mans Ultimate, it has these 2.4 hour races for solo events. Maybe iRacing. I have limited time between work, family,
Yeah.
and all the things at home you need to take care of. So I can't sit there in my rig, even though I wanted to. I can't sit there for days on in every day, all day. Have to make some money and take care of the family, of course. So if I'm lucky, I can get in an hour to maybe 3 hours a day every day. But I'm not streaming everything and anything. I'm usually streaming only my racing, not the practice sessions, because I'm squeezing them in wherever I have time. YouTube wise, I mean, I said earlier already that it's nothing that I need to do for money, nor I have any ambition to grow it to be like tens of or hundreds of thousands of subscribers or anything like that. It's a means for me to gather up like-minded people and enjoy some racing together, and an outlet for me to improve my skills in racing, doing multiple things at the same time while I'm racing. It will eventually develop my racing as well. And then learning new things. I mean, how to improve my streams and YouTube channel in a way that it attracts more people to join in. And well, you never know what YouTube will be in 5 years, if it's still there even. You never know.
Yeah.
But most likely going to continue doing racing. I have a really big project coming on, hopefully in 2-3 years. We're going to start building the garage, aka the man cave.
Okay.
There's a small spot for a car, but we have a plan already in place. We need to apply for the building permit still, but a kind of a big-ish room for everything related to hobbies in our family. I
Nice.
mean, skiing equipment, climbing equipment, gardening tool stuff, whatnot, and then a separate corner for my sim rig in there as well. So in 5 years, I'm pretty sure that I have my own man cave with a fully built sim rig that is a bit more than what I have now. I mean, you have to keep yourself busy with your hobbies, otherwise they will
Yeah.
die. I mean,
Yeah.
and I enjoy it, building and tinkering with stuff.
I find it I find it interesting. I don't think it matters where you're from. Man cave is an international
It is.
phrase.
It is, and it's always the garage. If well, we don't have a basement here, but if we would have a
Mm,
basement, then basement or garage, yeah,
yeah.
a man
Yeah.
cave. Yeah.
I don't have a basement either. I've transformed my second bedroom into my man cave, but it's always progressing and always changing and whatnot.
Yeah, it is.
I I wanted to we'll slowly start wrapping things up here now. I wanted to say, I think with your channel and everything that you are a very big inspiration. I know for me, there's been many times that I haven't had the best of days. I go into Discord, I see your message, and I'm like, you know what? Things are pretty good. You know, it's an inspiration, your outlook, your positivity, and like you said, and things, the sun will shine again, you
It
know,
will. It will.
and I find you're a big inspiration in the community. And I wanted to give the last word to you.
Thanks. Hey, means a lot to me to hear what you just said, and the community in your Discord and YouTube channel, they helped me to go through these hard times in a way that I know that they are there if I need them and you to be there. And if I ever have a need to talk to anybody about what's going on, you and the community, the friends, they are there. So that means truly a lot. So with that said, I like to be a positive person and have a positive mindset on everything and anything I do, and trying to get the most out of myself, but also from the people I'm interacting with, by helping them to be the best they can be. And if my story and my way of doing things can give anybody at least a bit of hope or help or advice, insight on what to do and how to do it, I'm more than happy. And this was a really nice possibility and opportunity to talk about these things with you. And thank you for that. This
Yeah,
has been
no.
really, really a good experience.
Well, I was thinking as you were saying, whenever the time is right and we're ready to open that filing cabinet, we may have to come back and have a part two in a
Definitely.
few years' time and dig into to some of that, because I think the resilience that you show and your attitude, and you know, you should be very proud of, you know, the person you are. And you know, you have a family, you take care of your family, and I commend you for everything. And it's been an honor to get to know you on the track and off the track and call you a friend.
Yep. Likewise. And you never know, we might even see each other in Germany in Sim Racing Expo.
That
I
would be
haven't made up my
amazing.
mind yet. I would really love to go, but not sure yet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. I look forward to any opportunities either to collaborate on the track or off the track. And it has been a great pleasure, Otto.
Thank you.
Lights fade out, the noise goes dim. What you see is not always what's within. Under pressure, under skin. Every scar's a place we've been. Inside the helmet, voices clear. We say the things we used to fear. Racing thoughts but standing still. Talking truth, talking real inside the